Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and thank you for clicking on the video. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Well, you know what? Indians are having a wake-up call. Go in and comment. And I don't know who fooled Indians into thinking that they could be assimilated into white society and be treated with respect. But they have been on this trajectory now for at least the last 25 years, clamoring their way into politics and they basically just sucking up to white people, joining MAGA, making it clear that they are conservative, they're in with these MAGA people, and that they don't like black people. They're going to throw black people under the bus. And they're willing to do that with the hope that they're going to get in the package some kind of way. So one by one, they're falling. First, we saw Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley actually did pretty well. She became the governor of South Carolina and had high hopes for being the president of the United States, the first woman president. Well, she crashed and burned. Then there came Vivek Ramaswamy. He ran for president of the United States, and they told him in plain English that he wasn't the one, and that Ann Coulter told him she wasn't going to vote for him just because he was Indian. And the other day he went to a Turning Point USA affair, and they basically told him, not only are you not white, but you are a Hindu. And they called it, they talked horribly about the Hindu religion. Then came Kash Patel, who is the director of the FBI. He called himself gonna wish the Indian people happy Diwali, some kind of Hindu holiday, and they ate him up on X platform. I mean, it was vicious. And then back to Vivek Ramaswamy, he posted a picture of his children in Halloween costumes, and they ate him up, they lit him up, and his children, and his children. And it was just like, I'm not sure what these people were thinking. And then here comes the ogre himself, Dinesh D'Souza. He has been at it the longest. He has taken unnecessary shots at black people, saying really vile things about black people, trying to be in the package. Well, he called himself was gonna chastise the white people for the way they talked about Vivek Ramaswamy's children, very attractive little boys, by the way. And they came and told him they were sick of him. He needs to go back to India and not come back because he was not one of them. So, I mean, and that was enough, you would think. Then we come up to this couple right here, J.D. Vance and Usha. Poor Usha. Now, we know that the goal for many immigrants is to get to the United States and marry a white person because now they've got it made. They're in the package, they're in the family. Usha Vance married J.D. Vance knowing some of the issues that he has admitted that he had. Because at one point, I think he was saying he wasn't sure if he was in the LGBTQ community or not. That's something he acknowledged. You know, you can almost understand it when people don't have anything. They don't have any education. They don't have any money. So they think they're going to get somewhere by marrying a white person. That's not the case with Usha Vance. Usha Vance has a law degree from an Ivy League college and had a very successful law career and had a very successful career as an attorney. So she didn't need him for money. But that's the white prize. Well, I mean, she is really paying the price for that decision. So I'm just going to let you hear what people are saying. Even the white folks are talking about it. And it has gone viral. People are now feeling so sorry for Usha Vance. Well, I just feel like people get what they ask for. But anyway, listen to this.
Does anybody else think that J.D. Vance's first wife, Usha, has got to be looking for an exit plan after the last few days? As if it wasn't bad enough for the woman who was raised in a traditional Hindu home by Indian immigrant parents to have her husband go on national television and say that it's completely reasonable and acceptable for Americans to want to live next to people who are like them and speak their language.
And he got up and said that people want to live next to people who look like them and who speak their language and basically who worship like they do. His wife is Indian. She does not look like their white neighbors. Her family members are immigrants. They are Indian. English is not their native language, and they are Hindus. So that lets you know he doesn't care anything about how she might feel about saying stuff like that. He's talking about his wife and her family, and that's what he said in front of a bunch of white people.
She then got to watch her husband put his hands all over the recently widowed Erica Kirk, who's clearly looking for another famous man in her life.
And that was something shocking to watch too. He got up to speak at a Turning Point USA convention or rally or whatever it was, and when she finished introducing him, they embraced, and he basically had his hand on her booty, and she was wrapped all up, had her hands all up in his hair and everything. And I thought to myself, she's only doing that because J.D. Vance's wife is an Indian. She wouldn't do that if his wife was a white woman. A white woman would have lit her up. She would never have done that. They don't play that kind of stuff because that was very disrespectful. And you know how a black woman would have behaved if a woman had done that to her husband. She got away with it because Usha is an Indian. And even in this picture, you can see how sad she looks because she is trapped.
And then he goes on stage and religiously shames his wife for not being Christian and hopes and tells the whole world that he hopes that she'll convert to Christianity and find the right path.
And the thing about it, he knew good and doggone well she was a Hindu when he married her. And now all of a sudden she needs to convert to Christianity. That is an insult. That is insulting. But see, they don't have any respect for these people and they don't get that. They're so busy trying to assimilate with these white people that they don't even listen because white folks don't even lie. They don't even lie. They'll tell you what they think. He got right up before the country and said what he had to say, not even considering how she or her family might feel about it.
And then at the same event, he ties immigration to assimilation. If you don't understand how that relates to the former statement about Usha Vance's traditional Indian and Hindu upbringing, I'm just curious. I don't know many women who would be okay with their husband going on stage and talking about them like that and then hugging another recently widowed woman the way that he did.
So it sounds like J.D. Vance is ready to dump his wife. And they say that marriage has been in trouble for some time. She has wanted out. They said she wanted out just before he was announced as the vice presidential nominee. But, politics. So she made her bed and now she's going to have to stay there until he decides that he wants to do something about it. And the way Charlie Kirk's widow is moving on him, he might be ready to get rid of her sooner rather than later. But this is a lesson. These Indians really are going to have to show us that they're smart. They keep telling us that they're smart, but they're not showing it. Well, what they're showing us is that they don't have any identity or self-respect, that you would just take any kind of treatment. Now, they see how white people treat other people, but they think somehow they're going to be in the package and they're not going to get that treatment because they're going to suck up to them so much that the people are going to accept them. No, they won't. And really, they're getting what they deserve, but they are getting wake-up calls going and coming. And I'm here for it. I'm ready for the next one. I am ready for the next one. Okay, y'all, let me know what you think about the video and have a good evening.